Hi, Jim and Jeanette here at the Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome in Rhinebeck, New York. The American Society of Aviation artist is here today, so we thought we'd drop in and do a painting.
Well, I'm Russell Smith. I'm a professional artist of about 20 years. I am past president of the American Society of Aviation Artists. I'm out here with my buddy Mark Poole this weekend teaching a workshop at the Old Rhinebeck Aerodrome. We're entitling it the Color of Flight Workshop. But yes, this is being sponsored by the American Society of Aviation Artists, another one of their educational events. We usually have a forum each year in different parts of the country, but the past couple of years, unfortunately, conditions being what they are, the pandemic and quarantines kind of shut us down just like everybody else. So this is really the first time we've been able to get together and do some instructional learning, do some painting, and it's really just terrific to be out here. And my personal specialty is World War I aircraft, so I'm at home out here. I love being here, so it's really neat. This is my first time teaching a workshop, and I'm learning just as much as the students are. And I'm just enjoying the heck out of it. But yes, we are the American Society of Aviation Artists, and look us up. I've learned so much from these folks, people who've been working, painting for decades and decades, and have experience under their belt. I learned far more from them than I did in art school.
Well, this is a very complicated scene, so I'm just going to start with the center of what I'm looking at, which is Don Meadows doing his painting. And I'll start by drawing him in and then build outward from there. I have a variety of watercolors and gouache, and just to make sure I have the main colors covered. And what I want to do is figure out that pale violet color of Don's t-shirt and lay that in. Usually when I start with watercolor, I end up laying down colors that are darker than they may appear, but they end up looking about right when you finish. What I'll try to do is put down the area for the whole shirt, and while it's wet, lay in a shadow. Now I'm using a long flat brush. And let's go for the shadow side. Quite a bit darker than the light side, but not quite black either. Now that's too dark. But while it's wet, I can lighten it up a bit too. Add a little more water. There's the plane break on his shoulder, which I can soften a bit while it's wet. And then we've got these folds swinging up from the left hip to his middle of his back. And he's standing in kind of a contrapposto pose, meaning the left hip is up and the left shoulder is down. He's right-handed, so he's holding his right arm upward while he paints. While I have the blue on the brush, I can paint his hat. Look at those folds, those are fantastic. I really like painting real people doing things rather than a model posing. Artists painting make a great subject because they hold still, or at least they return to the same poses. Now, occasionally Don puts his left arm down while he's holding his rag. And I love the way his elbow looks. I laid in the light side, and now I'm just putting in the shadow side of the arm. I'm really drawing it with the brush. As you can see, I didn't really draw it first with the pencil because I don't know how long I'm going to have here before they all break for lunch. Don has a nice sinewy arm, muscular, and you can see the structure of the bone coming down from the ulna.
Yeah, my name is Mark Poole. I'm currently the secretary of the American Society of Aviation Artists. I'm an artist fellow in the organization. I've been a member as an associate since '92, and as an artist member 2001. And it was founded by greatness, Keith Ferris, R.G. Smith, Ren Wicks, Bob McCall. In 1985, as an organization to perpetuate the education of solid art skills with a love and passion for aviation and aviation history, using classical type techniques and a full range of influence from the artists that participate, amateurs to professionals. We all come up from a range of different experiences and professional opportunities. I'm a civilian participant in the Marine Corps' combat art program and have the opportunity to create historical narrative work for the Marine Corps. And it's just a wonderful opportunity to commiserate with artists, like-minded folks, to meet legends like yourself, and as you said, just talk shop and share. If it's plein air, if it's background, obviously we're focusing on airplanes, but it's a fraction of what makes up what we do.
I'm building this outward with mostly transparent paint, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle where you have 3 pieces to start with and you build it outward little by little. And I'm thinking about what's light against dark, what's dark against light, and quickly dropping in shapes on the outside of the picture that are less important to the focus on that main figure in the center. Oh, you sketch the artist too?
Yeah, I figured I'm going to have trouble with this incredibly complex airplane. So I did another artist, Barbara, who was standing in front of me. And it's easy to do an artist because they keep returning to the same pose.
Yes.
And they don't mind. Artists never mind if you sketch a fellow artist.
And you really got her posture, and then there's Russell behind her in his uniform.
He is. He's in the deep shade, but at first he was not in the deep shade. So this is happy for him. It's really hot and humid today.
Great, nice.